What's going on, guys? John here with MachMotorsport, and today we are going to be installing VersaTuner in my ND2 Miata. I'm pretty pumped about this because everything I've read online basically indicates that not only am I going to get a little more power, and I've seen power figures anywhere from 11 to 12 horsepower and foot-pound of torque figures anywhere between 5 and 8, but this is also going to clean up the rev range, basically make it rev a little bit smoother, give you a little more crisp acceleration, and all of that good stuff. So not that I really had any complaints before, but I mean, who's going to complain about more power? And the beauty about this is all you need is basically one of these bad boys, an OB-Links dongle, which came with the VersaTuner that I ordered directly from Fab9Tuning. Thank you so much, Brian. And a PC laptop. Now, I'm a Mac guy, and fortunately, I happened to win this bad boy, and I thought to myself, man, I don't use PCs, but I know what applications I use PCs for, and that is for tuning cars. Because for whatever reason, every tuner I've ever used does not work on a lap or on a Mac, but they do work on a PC. And I know I could do like a dual boot and Windows emulator and all that on my Mac, but hey man, I won this for free, so that's what we're going to use. So let's get right to it. So according to their instructions, what you got to do is you got to load the VersaTuner Lite software on your laptop, which I've already gone ahead and done once you receive a license from them, which I've already done. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to connect the OBD-Links connector to your OBD port. And once you connect it to the OBD port, basically it's just a matter of loading your factory tune or your factory ROM, I guess, onto this, and then sending it off to Fab9Tuning, to Brian at Fab9, and presumably he's going to have a look, work his magic, and make this bad boy sing. Alright guys, there are going to be a couple things that you're going to need to do before you can install VersaTuner on your vehicle. So again, once you have VersaTuner Lite already installed on your laptop, then you're going to need to install the drivers that come with the dongle. So here's my package with that the dongle came in. You can see you're going to follow that link there, because what you'll find is you'll try to plug in your dongle and you're going to find that the light is going to be red. And if it's red, that means it's not recognized by the PC. You can't really tell in the video, but right now it's actually yellow. Kind of looks red in the video, but it's actually yellow now. And yellow means that it's recognized. So you're going to want to go just forward of the hood release cable and the trunk release. And you're just going to snug the dongle up there. See if you can see that there. All right, so now it's in place. You're going to want to go into your VersaTuner. Yeah, we'll update these guys while we're here. I have zero Wi-Fi connectivity in my parking garage, so I need to hotspot from my phone. So it's just taking a little bit of time here. But again, you're going to connect that just forward of the trunk release and hood release. You can feel for it by hand and just tuck your hand underneath the dash and you'll get it. Sure. Yes. All right. Yes, I agree. All right, let's get this updated. All right, so now you're ready to fire up VersaTuner. So we're just gonna fire it up here. Perfect. And we're gonna go to identify my car. There we go. And the next step is install VersaTuner on our car. All right, so it's going to take about 30 to 60 minutes. Looks like it's going to back up our stock tune, flash a base tune, and prepare the car for use. So let's get started. Yeah. Safely park your vehicle. Key push the start in the off position. Parking brake set. Turn off electrical accessories. Is recommended to connect an external charger. Locate the data link. Make sure your PC laptop or batteries and connect OSB. Okay. Turn to on, which we are. And here we go. All right, guys. I'll check back with you in a bit. All right, guys, in what felt like an absolute eternity, we have fully backed up the stock tune, and now it's loading VersaTuner. And honestly, it was no joke. The backup on its own literally took nearly an hour to do. So one note that I want to caution everybody here is that if you don't have a healthy laptop, you're definitely going to want it to be plugged in. If you've got a laptop with an unhealthy battery, you may want to plug it in for sure. Thank God this is a new laptop, so the battery's okay. Second thing is you're going to want to make sure that your car battery is in healthy shape, or put a charger or tendering unit on the car, because it is time consuming. It takes time. Turn off all the accessories in the car. So because you have to have the car in the on position, turn off the fan, turn off the lights, turn off all of that good stuff, because you just don't want anything that's going to drain the battery. And because it's time consuming. And make sure your laptop is not set to sleep mode. Mine was initially, and it fell asleep after about 5 minutes, and I had to restart the entire process all over again, and that was a massive pain in the ass. So definitely want to go into your sleep settings, change it to like an hour, 2 hours, whatever. But now we're in business, and as you can see, we are about 5 minutes away from being fully loaded. So let's see how this goes. So as the tune is loading, you are going to have a number of fault codes and messages that are going to come up on the display. Completely normal as it goes through the process. Things are going to flash. There's going to be all sorts of indicators coming on and off. So totally normal. You just got to, hang in there and just wait for it to finish its thing. But yeah, let's move it along. All right, so it's the following day after loading VersaTune on the car. Now, VersaTune does come with about 5 tunes right out of the box, one being a valet tune, the other a 91, a 93, and then a 91 and 93 with burble tunes. And I have no interest in putting the crackle pop tune on this car whatsoever. So, needless to say, a 91 standard tune went on the car, and I did notice a little bit of a difference after driving. I live in a condo building with a 2-story parking garage, so I have to drive up 2 ramps in order for me to get to ground level, and this is where I noticed the difference immediately. Driving up those ramps required less throttle input, and I had more power going up the ramp with the standard VersaTune software and tune that had loaded on my car. Now, I had sent over all the information to Brian at Fab9Tuning as requested when I purchased the VersaTune from him, and fortunately for me, he was working late. He decided he was going to send me over his 93 octane tune, and let me tell you, what a world of difference. This tune is remarkable. Not only do I have power throughout the entire rev range, but the car just has so much more pep in its step. It's so much more smoother. Like, the power and delivery is way more linear. And now I notice that the car moves effortlessly under its own feet. So, I had to allow for approximately 30 kilometers of regular driving in order for the ECU to kind of relearn its parameters. And let me tell you, just on my short little drive this morning, this has been remarkable. So not only did I notice again the same thing pulling out of my parking garage, there was a lot less effort required for the car to move up the ramps, but just on initial throttle input at a dead stop and just taking off, the throttle was a lot more crisp, a lot more responsive, and then that mid-range punch was really there. It really feels like throughout the entire rev range the car has picked up power, and it is a welcome, very welcome improvement on this car. Now, I'd love to sit here and say that this is the way the car should have come, and we know manufacturers have to make some sort of a compromise between reliability and fuel mileage and fuel that's required for the car. this car is designed to run 91 octane, so they're not going to expect everyone is going to have access to 93 octane at all times. However, that being said, since I've owned this car, I've only ever put 94 octane in it, so that's not a huge compromise, nor is it a huge deal for me. So now that I have this tune on the car, let me tell you, the car has awoken. I've loaded a lot of tunes on a lot of different cars, mainly turbocharged vehicles, and wow, love it, love it, love it. Again, I've loaded tunes on turbocharged vehicles in my past, and of course through increase in boost and throttle mapping and all that stuff, you do get a performance gain there. But I can honestly say this is almost the equivalent of like a stage 1 tune on a boosted vehicle. The power difference is literally that much. And this may sound like an exaggeration, but I have spoken with a couple of other folks who've loaded this VersaTune and have loaded the N1 tune from Brian at Fab9, and on a bone stock car. This car is completely stock, guys. I'm not joking. What an improvement. Hands down, for your money, worth every penny. I can't honestly recall the last time I spent this amount of money on an improvement or a modification on a car where I was given this much in return. Like, it is unbelievable. So we're just going out on a little Sunday morning cruise, and like I said, part throttle. I'm sitting in 3rd gear right now, part throttle, and you just ease into it, the car just effortlessly goes. Like, just incredible. That mid-range torque really improved. It's unbelievable. Full throttle acceleration, kind of hard to tell the difference, because at full throttle it's kind of foot to the floor, but this mid-range cruising around town punch, oh, I'm in love. I'm in love with this feeling. Oh, I just love it. Love it. It's got just an incredible amount of mid-range torque and mid-range power. It literally feels like the entire rev range has, from like idle to redline, has literally felt like just a linear improvement throughout. Take the stock power band, replicate that, and then add more, and that's what it feels. No dips, no valleys. It literally feels like everywhere has seen power. So now the red line is increased to about 7,600, and honestly for me that's not that big of a deal. I never really drove this thing to redline anyway. I think in the time I've owned it, I've probably gone to redline a total of twice, and that's going to be from some track time. So yeah, I don't necessarily think there's a massive advantage there for me. And anyways, you're not really making a whole lot of power at that RPM range anyway. So let's just do like a quick little pull here. And let's just see if we get my initial impression. We're gonna race the minivan here. Guys, there you have it. There's my VersaTune N1 tune from Fab9Tuning. That's my review. Worth every penny. If you own an ND1 or an ND2 like I have, I can't speak any more highly of this product. I highly recommend it. It has definitely made a massive improvement on the way this car feels, and I'm loving every minute of it. Oh, amazing.